I'm here with Bill Mullin, president of Starin Marketing, and he's going to talk about some predictions about the trends with BYOD, as well as how integrators and tech managers are coping with BYOD.
Well, I don't know how I can predict, because anything could happen, but I can tell you what, as I've looked around, become aware of, and that is there's been some systemic changes in the workplace. It's been driven in part by the economy, driven in part by companies wanting to have more productivity from their workers, and the bottom line is that the landscape of the enterprise is changing fairly dramatically. What we have known in the AV industry for years as cubicle city offices and meeting spaces, very defined, almost island meeting spaces, is now truly promulgating throughout the enterprise in many more spaces for collaboration. And why is that? Well, BYOD, bring your own device, is a driver. The younger generation in particular, those workers have a savvy knack for staying connected. And the immediacy of that is what corporations and other enterprises, educational institutions, that's what they want. The ability to quickly interact and respond to conditions, whatever it happens to be, and study could be part of it. So the devices that are now prevalent, pads, smartphones, and such, are, by way of cloud computing, are gateways to all of our knowledge base. Some of it is our personal knowledge base, meaning sitting out there in a server somewhere is the information that I might have had on all of my hard drive. But I don't do that anymore because it just needs some memory space. So we have these devices now that connect us to all of the information that we need when we need it, and that's key. So it's no longer filing systems in offices, it's no longer paper workflows, it's really gone down to a digital world. What's happening is with workers, oftentimes companies want to make the most effective use of their real estate, and those workers now are off-site. They tell folks, stay at home, quit your office. In fact, there are some furniture companies that actually have equipped, ready to install and outfit and habitate, that's the word, and get to work in, where the workers are not dealing with commute time, so it becomes a little bit of a greener issue. You don't have a lot of square footage that might be unoccupied because those workers are out on job sites seeing clients. You know, it's all about mobility. We need to be not only connected, but we need to be engaged. And that means being mobile to get to clients, suppliers, everybody that we need to have a dialogue with that's an ongoing experience. In addition to that, we also have work groups within the headquarters or the office needing to have immediacy of connecting on a project. And that project might be, hey, come over here, I want to show you what I worked on last night. And he says, great, but you know, Susan really needs to see this because what she's working on is going to contribute pretty greatly. Can we get her in a GoToMeeting, Skype, WebEx link and add to our collaboration within our devices on this particular screen, in this particular huddle space or this breakout room? There's any number of names that we're calling this multitude of spaces. So, what does that mean to us? Well, what are we? Well, we've been saying there's a convergence of AV and IT for some time. We've always been IT. You know, what sold all the projectors in the 90s? It was PowerPoint. PowerPoint enabled individuals to become their own authors of their own content. And as a result, everybody wanted to start to share. And that was often a one-to-many sharing, whether it was in the conference room or otherwise. Now we have this ability to mash up. We have this ability for people who are in a collaboration session, whether it's ad hoc or whether it's scheduled out, to connect and show the documents, show their study on what contributes to whatever outcome they're after. An outcome is a key word to me, because as an industry, we need to start talking in terms of outcome-based results. Now, what is the return on investment for a company to truly have collaboration as part of their learning organization? Companies who are learning organizations are most prone or most receptive to this, and as a result, we need to appeal to them first, but we also need to teach organizations that what we have as technologies makes an impact, and as a result, the people will have greater flexibility, the people will have greater productivity. In other words, they get to have a greater organization. So, the challenge to the industry is a little bit of a change of what we've been selling, how we can sell it. The other challenge is that it's transforming a little bit of our traditional systems, but it gives us a great opportunity. I'm in a professional group called the Vistage Group, which is a leadership development group for CEOs. And within that, in the Bay Area, of the 12 participants in my group that we monthly go around to and visit, there's only 2 that I would say have fair installed audiovisual. And these companies are not peanut companies. They're 2 million, 10 million, up to 100 million size annual revenue companies. Well, why is that? I don't think we even, as an industry, address the potential that we have for many, many other folks to get to know AV in this connected platform. And they're going to relate to it because the consumerism of bring your own device is making it apparent to those people. And now we as professionals can come in and say, hey, now I can help you with your pads, your cell phones, and other devices, and make your entire enterprise, your entire group of contributors, make them more present, more capable. So that's really what it's about. So it's a little bit of a chasm we got to cross as an industry. And it's a little bit of a threat in some ways, because one of the guys came up to me in the industry and said, Bill, you know what you have here in Wow Vision and Barco and Riva Labs and this wireless, accessible product? And he says, you've got something that is not what we've studied. I've got CTSD. I've spent years knowing signal flow and et cetera, which is great. There's always going to be the more sophisticated system. But now we have a chance to truly populate the world with this high degree of many systems that are very connected, and as a result, generate revenue for us as well.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks so much, Bill.